seems like that most people, most experts have already anointed them to the finals. Do you ever embrace that underdog role, or does it bother you to hear talk like that? Or?
Well, I think the first thing that coach has talked to us about is trying to minimize listening to that stuff at all. And the last two series we were supposed to, cruise through the last two series, and we were the higher seeded team and everything like that. And there were two very difficult series. So now when the roles are flipped according to the media, I don't think that means anything except for we got to go in and be ready to play the games just like we were in the last two series.
Mano said that obviously you're not going to stop everything that they do, but y'all have to make sure y'all follow the rules. What are the rules?
Well, I mean, it's very similar to Houston. I consider them, a better version of what Houston does, where you want to get out and run. Have a lot of guys that can score the ball as a team. They're, one of the best teams ever, I guess, scoring the ball. The biggest thing is going to be stopping their transition and from them getting easy threes and easy layups. Similar to what we did in the Houston series is if they're hitting threes and they're getting fast breaking opportunities and we're turning the ball over, things are going to be a lot easier on them than if we make them score 5-on-5 against our contested defense.
David, obviously one of the biggest advantages that you guys have in this series is your bench. You guys have a stronger bench. Is that something that you guys are going to try to exploit?
Well, of course, the game will determine that, and coach will make those decisions on what we do. But we've been a team that all season long has utilized all our players in different situations, and I think, like you said, it's one of our strengths. Is that we're deep and that guys can fill in for one another, and so yeah, we'll try to use that to our advantage as much as we can, and continue to. Everybody will be ready and ready to contribute in the series.
Was that 2013 series against the Spurs almost like a launching pad for the Warriors?
Wow, throwing it back, huh? Yeah, I mean, I remember being in that series and I was coming off an injury, but that was. I remember, we came all the way back in a game here, and then I guess it was Manu hits a Manu shot, makes a Manu play, and years later he's still doing the same thing. So some things never change, but the Warriors' success is somewhat new. Obviously, the Spurs have been sustaining it for a lot longer. But two franchises that have won a lot of games in recent memory, and two teams that are very, very good, and it's going to be an exciting, fun series.
Did you have a sense of how good that team could become?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that you look at the potential of situations, and if guys continue to get better and better and things like that, and stay injury free, and just because there's the potential for it to be there. I mean, look at a team now like a Utah, and you kind of see the same thing where they have a lot of the pieces moving forward that could be really good. But, just seeing that all come together, things can work out a million different ways. And for us with the Warriors, it eventually gave us a championship, and that was a really exciting time. And now they've, that team is very different than they were 2 years ago when I was there. But obviously still very successful.
Any mixed emotions from you heading back there?
No, I try to keep things as simple as possible. I mean, it's a building and an environment, a lot of people out there that I'm very familiar with, keep in touch with some of the guys on their team still. With that being said, they're competitors. I'm a competitor. Guys on my team here with the Spurs are competitor. And by my team, I didn't mean my team, but I just meant the current team I'm with are competitors. And we know it's going to be a highly contested series and a series where both teams are playing hard and trying to get wins.
Word is, David, Wes is helping them kind of scout the Spurs. Are you helping these guys with the Warriors?
No, Coach Popovich determines that. And like I said, a lot of the stuff that they do, with having KD versus 2 years ago when I was there, having more typical lineup with a Bogut and guys like that in there, is completely different. So the thing with this series, with the amount of basketball we played this year, I'm not sure there's a whole lot of secrets with what they're doing and what we're doing. I mean, it comes down to execution of the game plan, and both teams are going to be trying to do their best at that.
This time the other team's the big favorite. You guys are the decisive underdog. But psychologically, you guys doing what you did the other night to win without Tony and then Kawhi, obviously a late stretch. What does that do for you guys? Psychologically going in against a team that's very, very, heavy favorite.
Yeah, I mean, once again, I think all that is good storyline leading up to the games. But once we get on the court, we're two teams that won over 60 games this year, and a lot of people see them as the favorite. But more than anything, we got to go out there and play the game, and that's why you play a 7-game series. and we know they're a very good team and have a lot of respect for them, and I believe they respect us without putting words in their mouth. And so yeah, it's going to be a fun series. But once all that's fun media play and fun lead up and everything like that. But once the game starts, we're going to be locked in trying to get a win just like any other series.
Everybody talks about their offense. Can you talk a little bit about their defense? A lot of times it's overlooked.
Yeah, their defense is with all the 3-pointers and all the dunks and stuff, you kind of overlook their defense sometimes, and they're a team that really scrambles well and is very interchangeable with a lot of the pieces they have. Obviously, Draymond's the leader of their defense and does a great job for them, similar to Kawhi anchoring our defense. So, a very good all-around defensive team that scrambles a lot, creates a lot of turnovers, creates a lot of havoc, and that's how they like to get out and get a lot of points off of that.
David, without Tony Parker out there and with potentially a rookie starting for you guys at the point guard position, is there any concern there? How do you guys approach that?
Well, Tony's a huge piece of this franchise and of what we did all season long. We were able to survive last series doing that with Patty and DeJounte, and I thought both those guys stepped up. And once again, that plays back into our team depth and guys filling in for one another. And when one guy goes down, somebody else has to step up and play well. And I thought Patty was consistently really, really good for us, and I thought DeJounte in that final game was as good as anybody we had on the court. So that's just guys gonna have to continue to step up, and we're gonna have to use our depth to our advantage.
Is Kawhi being hobbled a concern at all, or do you think he's fine?
You'd have to ask Kawhi that question.
You're close to Draymond. I mean, preparing these guys for some of the trash talking that he's gonna do.
I mean, I am Draymond and I are friends. With that being said, on the court is a business thing, and it's it's similar to playing a Patrick Beverly, a guy that's gonna talk a lot and get his team going, and that's he's the vocal leader of that team and is very effective at that. So I think we take our Spurs approach as usual, and that's to be businesslike on the court and to focus on what we have to accomplish.
You almost have to hold yourself back from trash talking too.
No, that's not my game. That's not my game. So and I'll do a little celebrating after an and one or a dunk or something, but I'm not. That's not my game. That's more his game than mine.
David, you've been in the league obviously a long time. You've seen players come and go. DeJounte, how good is that kid going to be? He's already pretty good.
Yeah, he's really good. The thing I've been most impressed with this season with him has just been his attitude. I mean, he's had times where he hasn't played, times he was in the D League, he got hurt. A lot of kind of pitfalls, for a rookie that would a lot of guys that get very frustrated, get down and start pointing the finger and complaining why they're not playing. Instead, his answer to me, I've always kind of checked in with him and hey, everything good? And he's always said, yeah, man, my time will come. And I'm not sure if he knew that would be this year or in the future, but he's stepped up big for us, and just really proud of him as obviously what he's done on the court, but also how he's handled himself off the court. And I think that as much as anything else matters moving forward on how good you're going to be.